Welcome to the deep dive. We're going to jump straight into a really interesting story today. We're looking at an interview with Gandour. It's about his partner, Caroline, and her experience leading this intensive Pilates instructor training. Happened in Doha, Qatar, at a place called Warrior Fit. So our goal here is really to unpack this whole immersive learning thing, get a feel for it, and, the people involved.
Yeah, and what's cool is the source itself. It's Gandour's perspective, right?
Yeah.
Through his Voice of Gandour platform.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, you know it's going to be personal.
Yeah.
A very human take on this professional training.
Exactly. And the place, Doha, Warrior Fit. It almost feels like part of the story itself. Gandour talked about Warrior Fit being like bursting with energy, passion, super welcoming, organized. Sounds like that environment was, well, pretty key.
Oh, definitely. Think about any intense learning situation. The space matters, doesn't it? If it's
Uh,
supportive, well-run, like Warrior Fit sounds,
hmm
it just lets people focus, cuts out the noise. It's like the container for the whole experience,
Did he say what made it so energetic? He did mention the team there was great, really
Yeah.
supportive. And the studio itself, very well equipped, apparently. Okay, so the main event, this unintensive reformer training. It was focused on the Merrithew method, covering essential and intermediate levels. Now, for anyone less familiar, the reformer, it's that big piece of Pilates equipment, really versatile. Sounds like they went deep.
Oh, yeah. Essential and intermediate in one go. That's a serious commitment.
Yeah.
And Merrithew, well, it's known for being pretty detailed, lots of focus on core stability, precise biomechanics. So these trainees weren't just like learning move, they were learning a whole system, a very specific way of thinking about movement.
And the trainees themselves, 12 women from just all of the place. Let's see, Amna from Qatar, Esther from Kenya, Parisa Sahar from Iran, Nadia from Malaysia, Sophia from the Philippines, Irij from Tunisia, Fatima from Morocco, Roxane from South Africa, Shaoling from Taiwan, and Uxu from Spain. Wow, what do you make of that?
Such a global group. It's amazing, isn't it? How something like Pilates can pull people together from literally everywhere. That kind of diversity, though, it brings so much richness. But you have to wonder, maybe challenges too? Different starting points with anatomy terms, maybe? Different learning styles Caroline had to juggle?
That's a really good point. He didn't spell that out in the interview, but yeah, you'd imagine Caroline needed to be super adaptable. Now, the learning sounded intense. Gandour mentioned loads of exercise review, working with different partners, and he specifically highlighted these postural analysis sessions. What exactly is that? Why is it so important?
Postural analysis. It's like fundamental. You learn to really look at someone's alignment, standing still, moving,
Yeah.
spotting deviations, imbalances. It's not about looking good, you
Yeah.
know. It's about understanding how alignment affects how someone moves, where potential issues might be, pain, injury risk, that kind of thing. Learning to see that lets them design better, safer programs for individuals.
Gotcha. So it's not just memorizing exercises, it's learning to see the body.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big step. And then they also had to actually practice teaching, right? Focus on pace, talking to clients, offering modifications, because knowing it and teaching it, two different skills.
Totally different skills.
Yep.
Communicating clearly, giving good cues, adapting on the fly. That's the art of teaching. And Gandour mentioned them overcoming anxieties. That really speaks to the personal growth side. It's stepping into that authority role, building confidence, not just the technical chops.
And Caroline was leading all this. Gandour really stressed how dedicated she was, said she'd work evenings, prepping back at her hotel. That level of commitment must have set the tone.
Absolutely. Leading something that intense takes huge energy. Prep time is massive. Her dedication, yeah, probably set a really strong example. Created that focused atmosphere. Just shows how much the instructor shapes the whole thing.
And interestingly, it wasn't all new faces. Caroline apparently reconnected with two instructors she trained before in Qatar, Christina and Dorsa. Gandour called them heartfelt reunions. What do you think that tells us?
Well, it speaks volumes about the community, doesn't it? And the lasting impact of these trainings. It suggests there's this network, this supportive Pilates world in Doha, and it highlights that ongoing connection, maybe mentorship. It's not just a one-off course. It's about building professional ties.
Yeah, relationships. Okay, switching focus a bit. Gandour's own perspective, he talked about missing Caroline, obviously, but also being incredibly proud of her work. Adds a really human element to the whole narrative.
It does. It's a nice reminder, isn't it, that behind these professional achievements, there are personal lives, support systems. His pride really emphasizes the value he sees in what she does, the impact of her teaching.
And he was careful to thank everyone involved, Warrior Fit, Qatar itself, and especially the participants. He mentioned their passion, courage, kindness. Sounds like it was a genuinely positive, collaborative vibe.
Those thank yous are important. They underline that shared effort.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Caroline teaching. It was the whole group dynamic, the environment, everything contributing. And him highlighting the participants' qualities says a lot about the kind of people drawn to this.
So if we pull back, this deep dive shows this Pilates training, it was way more than just exercise mechanics. It was about, well, dedication, this incredibly diverse group finding common ground, real personal growth, strong leadership, all happening in this vibrant place.
Yeah, and I love how Gandour calls it a human adventure.
Mm,
Not just a training program, it's that mix of individual journeys, the shared struggle, the connections made that makes it something more. Makes you think, doesn't it?
right.
How any focused project can become richer when you see the human side.
That's a great way to frame it, a human adventure. So, maybe something for you listening to consider. Is there some focused task or project in your own life that might actually hold some unexpected depth, some real connection if you looked at it through that lens, as its own little human adventure? Definitely something to think about.